Hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. And this sounds very weird because the intro is a much more upbeat mood that it most likely should have been or could have been given the Arsenal result we played today. And overall, not gonna lie, the performance as well, because again, it was very questionable. It was very annoying. You could say we could have scored like 2-3 goals in the first half. At the same time, we could have conceded about 4 or 5 in the second half. Second half, we pretty much were non-existent. We take off Wanyeri at halftime and everything. And overall, yeah, again, more questions than answers raised about this game, about by this performance, by Mikel Arteta's decisions on starting 11, on substitutions and everything. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know where to go from here. But today we're gonna try to make some, well, express my thoughts on this, because it's gonna be a painful one for most of you. If you are a top gunner especially, it's gonna be a rant if you're me or someone like that. But of course, smash thumbs up, like the thing, subscribe, share it around, all that good stuff. Leave your thoughts down in the live chat, of course. And if you're watching this as a playback, don't forget to leave your comments down below. But we are kicking things off with the fact that Arsenal just drew, of course, 1-1 to Brighton. Nothing to be super excited about, because ultimately we could have been, okay, you could say we could have won based on first half result by 2-0, but ultimately this game deserved either a draw or a win for Brighton. Given how we played in the second half, there was no chance in hell we deserved anything more than a draw from this game. And it showed. It genuinely showed. And if in the past, in the last few games, we were second half FC, where in the second half we played much better in the first half, this game it was complete opposite. We were absolutely and utterly shocking. Big up Nathan in the chat. Monday morning there better be a signing announced. Yeah, better be. But let's be real, it's in 2 days. Arsenal don't do business that quickly, never ever. But here we go. The starting 11, which was very interesting, let's be real. David Raya, of course, Partey as right back, as everyone actually expected it to happen. Let's be real, with Timber having the yellows, Saliba, Gabriel, and Calafiori starting at left back. That was one of the first inklings for me that this game will be tougher than expected. For me, Calafiori is at best on the same level as Zinchenko at left back. I much rather would have seen Miles Lewis-Skelly there, and on some level, to be honest as well, Alexander Zinchenko, because they play much better in the attack. Defensively, Calafiori is a hole pretty much, unless we haven't tried him out as a backup for Gabriel as a left center back, and unless we do, most likely we won't even see what he's all about, because for Bologna as well, he predominantly played left center back. He played left center back for Bologna in 3 at the back for the last 2 seasons, and before that he actually was a left back for a few years. But ultimately, yeah, for me, Calafiori shouldn't have started. For me, it was either, as you can see, here it is, Kieran Tierney, but obviously he wouldn't start because Arteta doesn't like him, the dumbass he is. Zinchenko or Lewis-Skelly. For me, Miles Lewis-Skelly should have started the game. I kid you not, Miles Lewis-Skelly should have started the game. Calafiori, 45 million, waste of money. I'm not gonna lie. I've had enough. It's been more than half a season now with this bum at left back. He's been injured half the time. The other half the time he plays, he's been trash. He's getting outdone by pace, outdone by movement. He cannot catch up. He's out of position quite a lot. And whenever we play Skelly, looks 100 times better. Tierney has had half a game almost only at left back, and that half a game he has looked 10 times better than Calafiori has looked combined since he's come into Arsenal. Zinchenko has looked better. I'm not gonna lie, Zinchenko, as I said, for me, better than Calafiori. Defensively, both are shambles, but at least going forwards, Zinchenko offers us more with passing and everything. Obviously, there's Kivior, but we don't not talk about that. But ultimately, yeah, I much rather have seen Skelly as a left back. Calafiori can hold bench. And it's kind of ironic in a way when you look at Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. Because when Arteta came in, we had Kieran Tierney, of course, as a left back. He used him in the FA Cup and he helped us win that FA Cup. And of course, in the academy, we had Miles Lewis-Skelly. Over the years, Arteta has spent about 150 million to sign Zinchenko, Calafiori, Kivior. then play Tomiyasu there, Timba, players like that to play at left back. So ultimately, the way at least I see it as a fan, I've come to a conclusion where the two best left backs in the team were here when Arteta arrived. It was Kieran Tierney, and the other one was in the academy, aka Miles Lewis-Skelly. So at the end of the day, 150 million just wasted down the drain on defenders who technically should be playing left back, but none of them can actually play left back, as ironic and as awful it sounds. But hey ho, what you gonna do at the end of the day? Moving on into the midfield, Declan Rice starts at 6, which is another big issue for me. Because if you look at Mikel Arteta's interview before the game, this is yesterday's pre-Brighton game press conference, on Declan Rice and managing his minutes. In his case especially, he plays so much football. We have 9 games in this period this month, and he had some niggles. And in the last few games, he had to come off, and we have to manage every player, and there are no exceptions. He says that he has some minor niggles, he has some injuries, he has some knocks here or there. What he does the next game? Instantly, one day later, he throws him into the team. Now you may ask, well, whose fault is that? Because we have nobody in the team. Obviously, again, it's on Edu. And the way I'm looking now, the more I'm looking at these things, it's more on Arteta than anything, that we don't have proper backups. Nearly 800 million spent, and we still do not have proper bench. Genuinely. Because when Arteta just came in with, and Edu was here as well at the time, when Arteta just came in, we had subpar players that are not good enough, bench that was useless, and they were overpaid at that time. Fast forward 5 years, 800 million nearly spent, we have subpar players, pretty much useless bench, and again, hella overpaid players. Only difference is the inflation. Because at that time, the most overpaid players were about 80, 90 grand. At the moment, our overpaid players, Kai Havertz, 280, Jesus, 265, Zinchenko, 150, and we have about 2 or 3 players max in the 22-man squad overall who have salary below 100 grand. Good job, Edu. Good job, Garlic, Tim Lewis, all them morons, and of course, Mikel Arteta. Money well spent, well wasted, and in means of things, extra 15 million every year goes into your pocket because you are the 3rd best paid manager in world football. Yet you don't know, you make always the same substitutions, 5 years later make the same mistakes, same errors, same ideas, no new tactics, no idea still how to beat low mid blocks, and still cannot produce a trophy after 800 million spent. Good job! Because the FA Cup he won was with inherited squad from Wenger and Emery. But now, after 800 million, he cannot even win his way out of a paper bag. That's where we are. We lose to Bournemouth, we still cannot beat Fulham, we are drawing against Brighton, 2 times now. Because the first game we drew against them was against 10 men, then we couldn't finish our dinner. Raya was forced to make a world-class save to even keep us in the game, to leave it at 1-1. This game, yes, we could have been 2-0, maybe 3-0 up in the first half, but ultimately in the second half, we should have conceded about 3-4 goals as well. So at the end of the day, the best we could have hoped for, in my eyes at least, from this game, is a draw. And that now raises the question, how comes... How to propose this theory properly. Let's be real. Arsene Wenger, in the last 5 years on his career, 12 years, did 100 times better than Mikel Arteta. He won 3 trophies, 3 times finished in Europe, got to finals and everything. Unai Emery, in 1.5 years, again, did more than Mikel Arteta has done this overall in his time. Yes, he hasn't won the FA Cup, that's the only difference, but he has gone to finals, he got us to Europa League final, he got us doing these things. But ultimately, for me, the biggest question is, what could have Unai Emery done at Arsenal if actually Kroenkes would sanction him, and I'm not saying even 800 million, give him even half of that, 400 million. Because we saw how Aubameyang, Lacazette, even Martinelli when he just came in, were cooking under Emery. We had Golden Boot Aubameyang with 32 goals together with Mane and Salah. Lacazette was firing and everything. Arteta inherits these people. They carry him over the line in the FA Cup, and then they fall from the face of the earth. Aubameyang somehow starts to play left wing back. Lacazette somehow starts to play left six. Martinelli has one good season and then he disappears. And basically the tactics Arteta is utilizing, only player who flourishes in his tactics ultimately is Bukayo Saka. Let's be real. Only player who has survived these Arteta 5 phases, 5 transformations through different tactics and ideas is Bukayo Saka. Because he gets better over the years on GA. Not performances, let's just put it GA wise. He gets the GA. Rest of the players continually either stay the same or fall off. Happened with Smith Rowe, obviously injuries played a role. Happened with Martinelli, injuries played a role. Jesus, also injuries played a role. But the injuries on Jesus, for example, is also on Mikel Arteta. He got injured in Brazil. Okay, cool. He goes to has a surgery. Arsenal are 8 points clear, title race and all that stuff in that season. And Arteta rushes him back. He gets injured 2 games later, 2 more knee surgeries, and pretty much he doesn't play and he's shadow of himself. Martinelli has lost basically a leg, it feels like, on the pitch. He isn't as quick as he used to be. Fabio Vieira, why the hell we did sign him? Anyone can answer me that? Marquinhos, why did we sign him from Sao Paulo? Anyone can answer me that? Kivior, what is he giving to the team? Tying his shoelaces as we concede goals in the first season? Rob Holding was there at the time. We played Rob Holding instead of Kivior. What was the point in signing Kivior then? And all this stuff, what's happening at Arsenal, these useless signings, wasted money. I did a stream about, 2 months ago, where I looked at this, at the 750 million spent, and ultimately came to a conclusion that Arteta has wasted from the 750 million, what he has spent, half. Genuinely half. Because the only good signings, if you can count them that way, is Thomas Partey, 45 million. Besides injuries, right? When he's on form, he's on form. Gabriel, that's 66 million. Add Declan Rice, technically, because he's a 50-50 one, but add Declan Rice to that. That's 200 million nearly. That's 180. David Raya, 30 million. That's 210. And then you can get maybe Trossard for pound per pound. He has been a good signing. And that's what? That's 25. That's 230. Yeah, if you add some smaller players we have signed overall, Arteta has wasted about half of the money he has spent on this squad. 5 years into process, and we still rely on fucking corners to score a goal. It takes us 2 minutes almost to take a free kick. Legitimately, it was 94th minute when we got fouled near their box. You would think that we would rush to play the ball, to cross it. No, nobody was in a rush. Everyone was generally strolling on the pitch, and by the time Declan Rice put in a cross, it was 55 seconds past the hour. It was 5 seconds to 95 minutes. And we do this every single time. How many times we have been booked for time wasting? No urgency, no excitement, no pushing forward. As soon as we concede, Arteta wants to pick up the pressure, pick up the pace, which tells me that they can do it. Arteta just doesn't allow them to do it from the beginning. Because for me, the ideal scenario is blow them away in the first half, in the second half see the game out. Like we did 2 years ago in 22-23 season. But we do that? No, we don't, of course. We never do. Arteta has shifted tactics so much around and his ideas that he is doing more harm than good to the players. Genuinely. And now again, it has come to a point like it was at sometimes under Arsene Wenger. We are relying on 17-year-old Ranieri to come in to replace our main star player. And let's be real, in 2 games, I'm not gonna lie, he has done it. Yes, there have been more questions than answers about his performances. He hasn't been very mind-blowing in certain aspects, but overall he has done it. It's like we were relying on Jack Wilshere, on Samir Nasri, on Cesc Fabregas, teenagers to basically carry us through the seasons. Now we are doing that again. We did that 2-3 years ago when we just had Martinelli, Saka and those people. And now we are doing this again when injuries basically put us in a crisis, which again is thanks to Mikel Arteta playing the same players every single fucking game with no backups, no substitutions, and no game management. And now we have to again rely on a 17-year-old to save our fucking season. Like, make it make sense. We are in January transfer window. There are reports where Arteta is talking about this, by the way, and I kid you not, where Arteta says, Mikel Arteta on Arsenal needing to sign a striker this month. Signing someone isn't enough. When you look at the amount of goals we have scored, it's more than enough to win a Premier League. More than enough to win a Premier League to look at the goals that we score. It's okay, we have scored goals. I'm not denying that. But ultimately, when it has mattered the most for Arsenal, we have dropped the ball. Because we have done it. It's good when you pam West Ham 6-0 like last year. Crystal Palace 5-0, 3-1, 4-0, 4-1. On paper it looks good because it paints over the cracks when you lose 1-0, when you lose 2-0 against West Ham, when you draw 2-2 at home against 10-man Fulham, when you lose 2-0 at home against Aston Villa. It paints over the cracks. But ultimately, the biggest reason why we lose is because in the clutch moments when we needed the most, in December last year when we went 1-7 against West Ham at home, 2-0 when we lost, against Aston Villa when we lost 2-0, against Fulham when we drew this year and last year, against Southampton 2 years ago when we were losing and drawing, against Everton, against Burnley, against teams like that, when it matters the most, when we drop the ball big time. That's when you need that big striker. Yet Arteta just reluctantly refuses to sign a fucking striker. Because I'm 100% I read this somewhere, when in 22-23 season, when we were playing free-flowing attacking football, Arteta said, we don't need a striker, we spread the goals around. Which sounds quite a bit arrogant, I'm gonna admit that, but okay, cool. Then, fast forward exactly 1 year, we are playing Bayern Munich in Champions League, we cannot even get a shot, we are subbing on Eddie fucking Nketiah to score a drawing goal to go into overtime against Bayern Munich at Allianz Arena, right? And Mikel Arteta after the game comes out and says, oh, but what can we do? We don't have a striker, a designated who can bag 20 plus goals. He has had 3 windows to sign a striker since then, and only one we have been linked with properly is Benjamin Šeško, who doesn't sign because Arteta has told him he's gonna play backup dancer, secondary role to Kai Havertz as a number 9. Which club operates like that? And to add insult to the injury, last September, 2024 already, you need to remember that, Arteta gets a new deal. 15 million a year. Third best paid manager in the world for winning what? He's getting 15 million for what in the world? If you think about this. Has he won something? He has pissed down the wind 800 million and has won nothing. He still makes the same mistakes he made in the first season, and we are pretty much where we were when we basically were screaming to sack Arsene Wenger. Because we are in the top 4. We are technically challenging, but we are not challenging at the moment specifically. And we are in the cups. We are getting somewhat far in the cups only. Because under Arsene Wenger, we were consistently in top 4. We were winning few FA Cups here or there. And that's about it. In the meantime, we were getting panned by Bayern Munich 10-2 on aggregate. We lost to Monaco, Olympiacos, and teams like that, of course. But ultimately, it was the same. We were in top 4. We were trying to do something in the cups. But ultimately, that's done. That was about it. We are here again. And we didn't give Arsene Wenger 800 million. Arsene Wenger did that with 3 times worse squad and with no money because we had to pay the stadium off. And now we have spent 800 million and we are back where we were. What's happened with Ranieri? 17 on Ethan Ranieri scored. Ranieri's yellow card is 9 for the time wasting the season. Look at this. Ethan Ranieri's yellow card was 9th Arsenal's time wasting yellow card this season. We have gotten 9 yellow cards this season for fucking time wasting. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Genuinely, make it make any sense whatsoever. Because we play Rice and everything, and then we see that Rice cannot play. Kai Havertz, can he make the squad for Brighton? Yes, I think so. Where was he? I'm not saying I want him to play, but he wasn't even in the team. Odegaard gets dropped. Not gonna lie, thank God, because we actually look quite decent without Odegaard, ironically enough. Ranieri, a 17-year-old, scores a goal, a very nice goal to be honest, amazing goal for a 17-year-old, and gets us over the line. If Ranieri doesn't score that, we lose the game, because we all ultimately never look like we're gonna properly score. We again make only 2 substitutions. We sub on Martinelli for Ranieri, and we sub on Odegaard for... Who did we sub on Odegaard for? I'm kind of tripping. For Jorginho. That's about it. How about subbing Tierney for Calafiori? Skelly for Calafiori? Throw something random at them so what they doesn't expect. Subbing Butler Oyedeji for Jesus. Or something like that. Just do something unexpected at times. But as always, player per player substitution. Oh, Saka comes off. Sterling comes on or Jesus comes on. Havertz comes off, Jesus comes on. Trossard comes off, Martinelli comes on. What else is there? Rice comes off, Merino goes on, and stuff like that. Always the same substitutions, nothing proactive, always reactive. It's just 5 years into process, you would think he has a brain cell. But he doesn't. It's the same shit, just different toilet every single goddamn game. And it's getting on my nerves to the maximum extent already. The whole team had no energy, no desire. Exactly. And that is the biggest thing. We are all screaming, sign Cunha. Well, many are, I myself included. Sign Nico Williams and players like that. But those are players that need the freedom that manager gives them. Like Wenger did for Alexis Sanchez. Imagine how Bukayo Saka would play if he was playing under Arsene Wenger. Imagine that. Imagine that. But ultimately, under Mikel Arteta, right, we cannot have this because he buys players for his system. And those players who are in his system are just robotic, pragmatic, predictable, just yes sir, no sir, that pass, this pass, safe, controlling, and ultimate passes. Nothing risky, nothing thread the needle, nothing out of the blue, and nothing basically extraordinary. Similar like Man City. Very similar in that regard. They're playing a bit different, and you can see that, but Arsenal play that way, and it's all on Mikel Arteta. And if we sign these players that need this freedom, that need to express themselves, basically, they will die. They will look like flops under Arteta. Because under Mikel Arteta's system, his regime and everything, they will lose their identity. Because one of their biggest identities is their freedom. When they have the ball, the freedom to dribble, the freedom to take on opponents, to have a shot, to have a skill in there and stuff like that. And when I watch Mikel Arteta, how he has changed how Bukayo Saka plays, how Odegaard plays, and to some extent, and even that, they're gonna lose it all. Any signing, they're gonna lose it all. And that's what's very worrying me at the moment. Jesus one-on-one back to his usual self, well, had to happen. Can Saudi Arabia come back in for Trossard? Get Trossard, Zinchenko, Jesus, Kivior, Calafiori as well. Take Merino, send him back to Sociedad. And who else is there? Genuinely, take them all. Just take them all. Give them time to learn Arabic or something. Just get them the fuck out. Martinelli not even... Exactly. It's not even worth it. Their midfield completely bodied, and that's the thing. As soon as you get physical with Arsenal, we disappear. That's the thing that was a problem under Arsene Wenger. That was problem under Emery, and that's problem also under Mikel Arteta. As soon as teams play mid-low blocks plus get put on high press with physicality on us, we are done. It's no wonder that against Villa, more Rodgers can walk through our midfield. Lavia can bully us. Onana can bully us from Everton and everything. No, it's no wonder that they can bully us when they play them. It's no wonder that Onana looked like genuinely like prime Yaya Toure against us when we played Everton, because he's physical, he's strong, he can get the ball, he's somewhat techy, which allows him to get control of the possession, distribute it to some extent, and we get bodied every single time we play teams like that. And that's the teams we struggle the most. If you think about it, last year as well, we struggled, and this year as well, against Everton, because Sean Dyche plays that way. We struggled against Luton Town, because they play old-school type English football, and that was the issue for Arsenal, and that always has been an issue for Arsenal, and it doesn't look like it's going to change. Emery would have never won the FA Cup, though. I'll never do Emery revision, but it's time. Arteta has to go. I'm just curious, what would Emery do if he was granted the 800 million? Because Emery got done over by the management, by Kroenkes and everyone. Because he wanted Zaha, he got Pepe. He wanted Fabinho, who went to Liverpool a bit later, and he got, but he didn't get him. He got Lucas Torreira and players like that. It would be very interesting to see if the management actually backed him and he got the players he needed. That's why I'm still in that inkling, trying to compare at times Emery to Wenger, Arteta in those three I put together in a comparison. We needed parts we needed party in that midfield. But again, who's gonna play right back? It's not like you can play three at the back, for example. Jesus. Managerial just exactly, that's the only thing, but how is he going to learn when you hook him at that time? Big up Ant, big up Trajan as well, big up. After he scored a goal. I think he's injured, yeah. Managerial, according to Trajan, is injured. Odegaard was useless and shit, to say the least. Arteta is the problem at the end of the day. There's nobody else he can hide behind. You cannot hide behind recruitment, because 800 million spent, you should have everything in place pretty much. And you should just have to freshen up it a bit every single window. And you can actually kind of maybe even avoid January window if you did your job properly in summer window. And it's all on him, because players technically are actually quite decent enough. We've seen this over the years. And this team is actually made for attacking. To play this expansive football we played 2 years ago. Not this controlled defensive type football. This team doesn't excel at that. This team excels at a more attacking expansive football, which kind of is combined with the defensive football we play currently. There needs to be a proper blend with those two. And Arteta just doesn't know how to find the balance. Because half the time when you look even at starting 11s, defense is unbalanced, midfield is unbalanced, the tactics are unbalanced, and that has been for years now. And it feels like it's never going to fall in place. We're going to be this close and we're going to fall off again. Like it was under Wenger, and it's going to be once like that again. Big up Michael. Big up Adex as well. Awful performance. They're not ready for the Premier League. They're not. Genuinely, they are not. Managerial, apparently he's injured. Apparently, according to Trian. Big up Isak. We need killers. 3 killers to run for the trophy. We won with that trophy. We had Aubameyang up. Exactly. That is the thing. And what's even more embarrassing about this, if you look in this All for Nothing, basically, documentary, Edu and Vinay, I think at the time still, were high-fiving for getting Aubameyang off our hands for free, paying him off to terminate his deal. He goes to La Liga, scores quite a few goals, let's be real, wins La Liga, I think, as well. Then Barcelona sells him to Chelsea. He doesn't do well there, but Chelsea sell him to Marseille, and then Marseille sell him to Saudi. So ultimately, only team that didn't get money for Aubameyang is Arsenal, because we bought them from Borussia Dortmund. We gave him away for free, like it's a toy nobody wants. Then he gets sold from Barcelona to Chelsea, he gets sold from Chelsea to Marseille, he gets sold from Marseille to Saudi. So ultimately, Arsenal were the only team that didn't get any money for him. How mad is that? Golden Boot winning Aubameyang at time as well. For me, how the hell do you play for... Exactly! We are playing for DMs. That is the most embarrassing thing. That's basically, if you want to play 4 DMs, play them at least in the midfield, not as a right back and a left back and a number 10. Play them actually in their specific positions. Play 3-4-3, for example, or something like that, with a diamond in the midfield. Something weird where they actually are in the midfield. Put Odegaard in freaking reserve. He does. Dude, Odegaard today, you would think that Odegaard cannot get worse, but he today was even worse, and that was off the bench. And to be honest, we looked very decent in the first half without him, actually. It's the shame that Managerial apparently has gotten injured and he got to get taken off. And Arteta obviously is desperate, because he's basically one injury away from necessity to play players like Kabia, Oyedeji, Maldini, Isaac Heaven, and players like that in the team. Genuinely, he's 1 injury, 2 injuries away from that. He's panicking. And that's the worst thing. Whenever Arteta panics, he does something very stupid. He's done it before as well, and he's doing it right now, and he's gonna continue doing it. Because as soon as our defense got injured, he panics. He puts right back, he puts our best midfielder as a right back, he puts our best right back as a left back. He does this whole thing around. Then he decides to play Merino as a 10, Jesus as a 10, Trossard as a 10, Havertz as a 10. He plays everyone in the 10 besides, for example, when Yeri whilst Odegaard was injured. He panics instantly, and he doesn't know what to do. And you can see that 5 years in job, it feels like he has got no experience whatsoever still. He makes rookie mistakes, which by now should not exist anymore. That generally should be the case. When Yeri injured, it's over. We desperately needed players like... Yeah, we need players right now. And we need more players like Managerial, who are very direct, who want to take on opponents, who are not afraid, and who actually can score. Managerial is all 4 of those things. He's actually a very decent ball carrier as well. He's something that we haven't had since Emil Smith-Rowe was starting the games 3 years ago in the team. Emil Smith-Rowe was very good at that, and Managerial also excels at that. And we haven't had that in the team since. Everyone said that Declan Rice would do that because he did it at West Ham. But since we use Declan Rice as an 8, not as a 6, where he can actually try and do that, it's pretty much a moot point. It's irrelevant. Muscle injury pulled at half-time. Oh, bloody hell. When Yeri apparently is injured, right? No, he's out for the whole team right now. He carries the... Exactly, that's the biggest worry. When Yeri has played 2 games, well, 2 first halves, let's just put it that way. And in both games, he has, in a way, carried the attack. As wild as it sounds. So what the hell is Jesus doing, Trossard, Martinelli, and all these idiots, the rest of them doing? Sterling as well, maybe he's gonna be back. We'll see the best of him and everything. Big up Emmanuel in the chat, big up. Guys, please, there are such days for all teams, honestly. What deserved. It's easy freaking criticize because all pretend as experts. Dude, with all the love in the world, it's not one day. It's not like a day off. It's not just a one-off situation when it has happened at Arsenal. It has happened countless occasions this season. It happened on numerous occasions last season as well. It happened even in the preseason to some extent. It's not like it's a one-off thing. It's not like it happens once a season. Maybe 2-3 times a season. It happens consistently every season without changes, without improvements, without actual growth and some other ideas from Mikel Arteta. That's the biggest issue here. That is the biggest issue. If it was a one-off, I wouldn't be freaking out as much. I wouldn't care as much as well. I would probably care, but not at this level or at this way I'm expressing myself right now. But ultimately right now, it's done and dusted. It's done. It's done. Sack him, sack Garlic, Tim Lewis, get everyone new. If it's possible, sell the club, get someone else to buy the club. I don't know, Elon Musk, someone from Qatar, Saudi, someone. Just sell it. Give it to some owners who are not afraid to lose, to invest money and everything, who are willing to take proper chances. we got bodied by a 21-year-old till he was world class. Exactly. It doesn't matter how old he is. Genuinely doesn't. If you're good enough, you can play at the end of the day. The thing is, though, the younger you are, the only thing is the more you have to follow him. Because in terms of game management, because we have seen what happened to Gavi at Barcelona, Pedri at Barcelona, at Yamal now at Barcelona as well. They were so overplayed. They played about 60, 70 games a season that they are now getting injured consistently. You need minute management, game management, and everything. You need to do that regularly. And Arsenal don't do that. They didn't do that for Saka for 5 years, and now it's gonna show. It's gonna show. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's not this done. If it's not done as well. There might be another massive injury this season for Arsenal. Where it's gonna be, who it's gonna be, I have no idea. But I have a feeling that these games that we are playing at the moment every 3 days, we have 9 games in 29 days in January alone. We play every third game. At some point something's gotta give, and that actually could be the be-all end-all for Arsenal this season. Because Saka is out for next 2 months. And that means if one more big player goes out, we are done. And the worst part is, Odegaard has been injured, right? Saka has been injured, Jesus to some extent, Havertz to some extent, Martinelli. Obviously Calafiori, Timber, Partey, Rice, White is now slowly coming back. As much as I hate to say this, and I hope I don't jinx this, knock on wood and everything, right? Arsenal without Saliba and Gabriel look like a mid-table team. Let's be real. Let's be honest with ourselves, because the backups are genuinely mid-table level for them, at best. It's a miracle that they have avoided injuries till now. And if one of them, and God forbid both, are out at the same time, due to injuries, red cards, whatever the reason, especially if one gets injured, other one gets a red card, you might as well kiss top 4 goodbye to some extent. Because if it's something serious to a longer period of time or something like that, it could be the be-all end-all of everything. Because we can manage to some extent without Saka, I'll admit. As much as he is basically carrying our attack and we are Saka FC, defense is what keeps us in the games when it doesn't. And if we lose one of those two center backs, God forbid both, it could be very dark days at Arsenal. Very dark days, to say the least. He pocketed Salah for a while. Yeah. Exactly. Arteta out. Right now. Don't even give him the money. Bin him out. I wouldn't be against even sacking Arteta and signing a new manager and giving him the money. I would absolutely love that. He has wasted too much money. No more fucking excuses. Exactly. No more excuses. There shouldn't be anywhere to hide from. There should be accountability, but there is none. Genuinely none. Emery's crap. He would never win the league. Maybe Europa, nothing more. Still, he would win something. Partey at right back didn't even sub in Skelly. Yeah. Why Skelly didn't start is still a joke to me. Skelly should have started the game, in my opinion. What the fuck is the scrap? You can't be wanting to win trophies with... Yep. We need the same thing what was happening with Arsene Wenger. Planes flying over Emirates, or who were we playing? It wasn't even over Emirates. It was over Everton, over Goodison, or whoever was playing. I forgot. Or Burnley, we were playing at Turf Moor. I don't remember, but it was a away game as well, where the plane was flying with Wenger out and everything. Arsenal fans were punching each other up. Genuinely, our fans were punching each other up. Half of them were Wenger in, half of them were Wenger out. In the Emirates Stadium, each other were punching each other up for these statements. But and Arsenal are in the same position right now with the trophy, jots and everything. And nobody seems to care. Genuinely feels that way. Everyone's happy. Hey, we have a dog. We have dog toys. We have new merch every other week. Arteta in, best looking Spaniard. Woo, North London forever and all that crap. Woo. And everyone looks super happy. Nobody's holding anyone accountable. You better go and start. It's not never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. Have to let that dream go, I guess. I would have started Skelly in this game, I'm not gonna lie. Or Tierney, I wouldn't care. For me, Calafiori, 45 million just down the drain. Wasted big time. Trade Calafiori and Zinchenko for Grimaldo and Ta. There's a bigger chance we can trade Calafiori and Zinchenko for like Pablo Murray from Monza back than getting Grimaldo or someone like that. I don't want to hear no damn Arteta stay, crap, get him. Exactly, but you're gonna hear it all the time. It's been 5 fucking years coming. Exactly, that's the biggest thing. 5 years, same mistakes, same situations, same actions, nothing new. That's the biggest, one of the biggest worries. Same subs, same everything. I'd even, no. You see, I much rather, in this instance, not take anyone, if that means Arteta goes and we get a new manager and then give him the money. If that is the case, I'm not taking anyone in January. But if Arteta stays for at least 1 more year and something stupid like that, then you have to give him money. But also, you don't want to be desperate. But at the same time, it will be January 30th. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Hello? Sir Jim, can we have Rashford, please? And all that stuff. Nope. I never felt we would score the second. I felt more that we would concede second than score second, to be honest. That is, I'm gonna say it that way. I felt more that we could concede the second goal than score the second. Mingas down, Gasperini or Jabion. Oh, see, Marlon is on Nathan train now. I have noticed this. Marlon now wants Gasperini as well. Nathan is big advocate for Gasperini here. And now Nathan wants Gasperini as well. Jabi Alonso is going to Real Madrid most likely. So it's not gonna happen in that regard. He's not coming. Not coming. Marmoush, Roy, Leroy Sané, and Osimhen. Big up Isak. Marmoush, isn't Marmoush going to Man City? Or that is still up in the air? Osimhen, I would take Osimhen right now. 100%, especially since he has these clauses with the loan at Galatasaray that he can get bought out and everything. We ain't buying Sané with Arteta's man. Oh, that's the biggest thing. Sané sounds like we are buying Arteta because they have been playing together. No Didi at that, but you get what I mean. It's a miracle we get freaking... We won't. I think he's going to City at the end of the day. Get all... Can we sell Odegaard? Is that a possibility? I know everyone will get pissed by a statement like that, but can we sell him? We bought him for 35 million. We can sell him for about 70, 80. Can we sell him and get Wirtz or someone like that? Although saying that, again, I sound like a hypocrite. Because I'm saying sign words, but about 25 minutes ago I said, it doesn't matter who we sign, but because Arteta will stranglehold them into playing robotic football. They will not allow them to express themselves. If we want to sign these creative number 10s, we need players who can express themselves. Musiala, Wirtz, we need to give them freedom, and Arteta is not about freedom, he's about total control and all that stuff. That's the biggest thing. Ten Hag was here 2 years, he won 2 trophies. Arteta has been here, he's won 1 trophy. It's because United are worse than us, only reason. Yeah, that is, to be honest, that is the case. United and Spurs, 2 teams who are basically in the, I would say in the most recent times, lowest of the lows. Arsenal were there for about 4 or 5 years, and now we are back up, and now we are again top 4 and all that stuff. Everyone's super happy because most of the Arsenal's fan base, current one, haven't seen Arsenal ever win a trophy. They've been supporting Arsenal since like I think 2011, 2012, 2013, from those times. 2016, not from the days when we had from like 2002, 2003 and 2004, 1999, and the times when Wenger just came in going toe to toe, spending no money, Abramovich takes over Chelsea, and then there's a three horse race with between us three and United, Chelsea, and of course Spurs and Spurs and us for the title and everything. Odegaard out, Trossard out, Nelly out, Calafiori. Get them all out. Odegaard, Trossard. Well, Odegaard maybe can stay if we try him as an 8. I can give him maybe that. But Trossard, Nelly, Calafiori, Zinchenko, Jesus, Kivior. Who else is there? Nelson, Sterling. Get him the fuck out with that loan. Who else has not been named? Gabriel Jesus, of course. Havertz, get Havertz out as far as possible as well. Merino, send him back to Real Sociedad. They're just not good enough. Not good enough. Then give us Ancelotti or Tuchel. Isn't Tuchel the manager of England national team? Or is it the other German? Tuchel is not coaching the club. He's coaching England. He was in the stands, I think, as well, for the game. Ancelotti, if Real Madrid sack Ancelotti, I would take him in a heartbeat. Especially since Real Madrid are paying Ancelotti half of what Mikel Arteta is getting right now. Ancelotti is on about 8.9 million, something like that. Arteta is 15 million. Make it make sense. Exactly. Players ain't evolving or getting better. Only player who's getting better based on GA, I'm not saying gameplay wise, but based on GA is Saka. That's about it. Oh yeah, Fabio Vieira. Get him the fuck out. Marquinhos, 3 million from Sao Paulo. Get him out. There are quite a few of those. Nobody and getting better pushing to be exactly. The biggest thing is there are multiple positions in our team where is no competition. Genuinely no competition whatsoever. Everyone's sitting happy chappy in their filth for lack of better word, and they're happy. Saka has no challenge, Odegaard has no challenge, Saliba, Gabriel, as high level they have played, they have no challenge. Raya has no challenge. You think Norberto Neto is gonna give Raya sort of a challenge? Okay, with goalkeepers a bit different. But ultimately there is no challenge for multiple positions. I've been suffering since 2010. Oh, so 15 years starting this year. I feel for you. And nobody ever step up and start scoring, push the team to talk back to me. That's the thing. Nobody's standing up for themselves. Everyone's agreeing with everything they get told. There is no like personality that will say no to the manager. Genuinely. No to the manager, no to ideas, no to certain tactics. Because Pep Guardiola said it himself. I don't want to be surrounded with yes men. I need someone who can challenge my opinion, because there is no other way to improve, to grow, and to get better. And Mikel Arteta has surrounded himself only with yes men. And that, I think, is one of also biggest issues in general. Ain't no fucking way get Odegaard the fuck out. Bad decisions on transfers. Instead of talking about Gyökeres and Marmoush, they are talking about Cunha and Kudus. Big up Izzo. Now, I wouldn't be against Cunha, but that's under certain circumstances. 75 million I definitely wouldn't pay for Cunha. I'm gonna just put it that way. Kudus, 85 million, no thanks as well. If we sign those two, that's 160 million alone. For that money, you can sign about 3-4 players. And the good ones as well, to the matter of fact. So if you want to make the smart decision, don't sign Cunha and Kudus. Because apparently Wolves want 75 million. West Ham want 85, which is release clause for Kudus. That's 160 million. We can genuinely sign about 3-4 players for that money. Legit. I'm officially ARTETA out. Big up TB. Welcome to the club. When you're the only good player on the team right now. Could say that. Genuinely could say that. Bro is 17 and better than most of this. That is the thing. And that's not a... But that's in Arsenal's DNA, isn't it? Cesc, Wilshere, Ramsey, Saka, now Managerial. It's all somehow it's a weird thing for Barcelona. It's obviously it's always like that with Pedri. It was Ansu Fati, Pedri, and of course Yamal. But injuries have killed them all. Let's see how Yamal recovers from injuries. But injuries have ruined Ansu Fati. Injuries have ruined Pedri. Injuries have ruined Gavi. Even Kubrasi to some extent. We'll see how he comes back from the ACL. So time only will tell. It's actually kind of nuts. It is a disgrace. This is poor squad building. We need more players. We need a striker. But the clown thinks that he's the best and can win it. Exactly. Exactly. He thinks he knows everything better, but he doesn't. And that is the thing. That's what my grandfather used to always tell me. If you think you are the smartest person in the room, the bigger chances are that you are the dumbest actually person in the room. The more chances are that you know everything and you are the smartest person in the room, the bigger are the chances that you actually are the dumbest person in the room. And that's how Mikel Arteta feels in this. How is the fan base? That's the thing. They're eating it all up. Genuinely. This is something. I'm gonna show you this. And just bear with me here. If you know who League Gunner is, you know who League Gunner is. But can I find this? This one. Calafiori interview. He fixes his hair. And one of the Arsenal's fanbase people, one of Gunnar says, I think I'm gay. This is how they get these things. They see these people, everyone's super good looking and everything. It's actually kind of wild. Like, look, this is Arsenal fan base. Why is that every player we are linked with are such good looking blokes? Man, I had a massive man crush on the handsome French bloke. I think he means, I would assume he means Olivier Giroud, but Olivier Giroud is actually kind of good looking. I'm not gonna lie. Sounds a bit zesty, but roll with it. Yeah. Is Cunha handsome? Can't say I'd noticed. And Pinocchio with the lying thing, as he lies, his nose grows bigger. Dude, and this is our fan base we are dealing with here. They want to see Calafiori stroking his hair and everything. Like, what are we doing here? Like, genuinely, what are we doing here? Like, seriously. Board says no money problems by the fucking players spend it down. Exactly. But Mikel Arteta in interviews says the complete opposite. In a way, he kind of implicates that. Where was it? Sickness, Tierney, it's likely. Here we go. On if it's likely that we'll sign someone in January. I don't know. Again, because the focus is on the players that we have. When something is in the market that we can afford and believe is going to have a real impact on the team, we have to be open to that possibility. And that's the thing. If we can afford and we believe to have impact, and we have to be open. That genuinely in this paragraph, it kind of states the fact that Arsenal are broke. We don't have money. We have to wait till an actual opportunity to present itself, so we actually can basically open our wallet, let all the butterflies fly out, and then count the change and see what we have left. Didn't we just finish this summer window with net profit? We basically sold to sign and everything. Didn't we just do that? What kind of money problems can you have? Yet you hear articles, read articles, no PSR issues, no FFP issues, money is there if you want it. Then Mikel Arteta says, oh, the market, we need to look at the players. If we can afford them, we actually might get them. If we can afford them. We have the ability to change the squad in the windows, but at the moment, the focus is on what we have. That's the last sentence he said in this paragraph. At the moment, the focus is on what we have. So either Arsenal don't have money, which seems very stupid and impossible, or he is not just planning to sign anyone, which is more realistic than anything. And then at the end of the season, the top excuse will be, oh, we don't have a sporting director, or something stupid like that. Look how quick Madridistas turned on Don Carlo a few months after he won. Exactly, that's the thing. Real Madrid and Madridistas are ruthless. Vinicius Jr. scored a hat-trick in El Clasico final. Amazing. They were carrying him on their hands. Week later, they play Mallorca. He misses a penalty. He gets cussed, whistled, and everyone just booed him out the stadium after the first half. Instantly. They held every single player accountable. They're calling for Carlo Ancelotti's head already for about 2 months now. Given that they lost to Lille 1-0 in Champions League. They are struggling against smaller teams in La Liga. They're already calling. And they are doing that while they are first in the table. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Real Madrid are first in the table. If Atletico Madrid win, they will be second by... Real Madrid will be second by 1 point only. They're doing that while they're pretty much on top of the table already. They don't just like the performances. They want improvements on that. Arteta hasn't won. Arteta got knocked out of UCL in quarters, got beat by mid-table clubs and balls in freaking league. That's the biggest thing. And the biggest excuse is when we had chance to sign Ancelotti twice. When he left Everton and when we sacked Emery. 2 times. Right? And how did it go? Oh, I said I was talking to some fans. I was saying I want Ancelotti. They were saying, "Oh, but what did he do at Everton?" Hello? What did he do at Everton? He was top 4. He had James Rodriguez and players like that in top 4. He was balling out in top 4. Let's be real. Until basically he effed off because Real Madrid called, obviously. But it is what it's a bit different story. How is a new manager gonna come to a new league and win the Prem before one? Exactly. And this previous transfer summer window, we all were hearing, "Oh, Arsenal cannot win the league while Pep is here. Oh, Pep is gonna leave after in 2025. Then we're gonna win the league," and on all these type of things. Then Chelsea signed Maresca. They are struggling right now, but it is what it is. They are up there, not as much anymore, but they are. Slot comes in. He has won more in Netherlands than Arteta has won in his lifetime, pretty much. And then Pep re-signs a 2-year deal, so Arsenal are never winning the league. Last 2 years were our years. Last 2 years were the years when we had to win the league. It was the similar like we had when Leicester won that season. It was the same. We had to win the league. If of course Giroud could have found the net for 20 games plus. So it is what it is. Exactly. Basically, it's a modeling contest. The better good-looking the player is, the bigger chance that the fan base will love him, the more chance they will buy the merch, and they will come to games because they like the hair flicks, they like the tattoos and everything, and then the smile and all that stuff. And stupid, we can barely win against mid-table clubs. Villa, Fulham, Bournemouth, all these trashed us before. Most of these teams haven't even been in the UCL. Exactly. As weird as it sounds, that is the case. This manager is a fraud. Big up BX Gunner in the chat. He's a massive fraud and he needs to go. Even West Ham won a freaking European title before. It's under David Moyes, they won Conference League. People will say, "Oh, but it is Conference League." Go and win it then. First of all. Then we can talk. What is this OnlyFans FC Troll FC? Exactly, that's what it is. Get serious, and they're not. It's stubbornness. He doesn't want to be wrong, and he will. That's the thing. Arteta has been wrong few times, and that's the biggest thing. When he has been wrong, he has panicked so heavily. He has gone in complete 180-degree mode, where he goes from one end of the spectrum, where he is right now when he gets it wrong, to the other end of the spectrum, where he gets it wrong as well. He just doesn't want to recognize it. It happened with the style we played. It happened with the substitutions. It has happened with player signings and everything. It's all over the place, unfortunately. But at the same time, we are squeezing lemons, listening to "You Never Walk Alone" on speakers, pickpocketing ourselves and everything. Maybe those pickpockets stole our players' talents. Maybe, who knows? Aston Villa has a freaking winning streak against us. Fulham, who haven't even been in top 10 in the league, a freaking Bournemouth of all people who has... Exactly. They all have beaten us. They all are pulling one over us, and that's the biggest thing. We ain't winning no league with Arteta. When Liverpool wins this season, City will come back and win it again, and Liverpool might do a double. That's the thing. If City do what they will do, what they normally do usually, and as we all know, City operates like a big serious club, right? They will sign 2-3 players this window in January, and by early February, when we have to play them at Emirates, at worst, they will be tied with us on points. That's how I see this going. At worst, they will be tied with us on points. Because even right now, if I'm not mistaken, the Premier League table is a bit sus. Yeah, here we go. City are, and I kid you not, only 6 points behind us. 2 games away from us. 2 games. If Forest win the game tomorrow, by the way, they are on the same points as us. And the worst part is, if you look at top 4, only team that hasn't won Champions League is Arsenal. If you look at top 4. Because Liverpool has done it, Chelsea has done it, and Forest also has done it. Only fraud in this is Arsenal. As weird as it sounds and mad as it sounds. Exactly, buys just rejects, wasted players, and the worst part is, Marquinhos should have been a free deal. We paid 3 million to Sao Paulo to keep good relations. He actually should have been a free deal. Fabian Ruiz, B-Tech, Merino is actually like a D or F-Tech Fabian Ruiz. Let's be real, Fabian Ruiz is miles better in my opinion. Look, Arteta is trending worldwide. Oh wait, there should be press conference, no? Arteta post Brighton presser. Wait, is there like a full one? Mikel Arteta confirms Ethan Vanieri injury. Here we go. Here we go. Arteta to BBC on Vanieri. Really bad news because I think we've lost him. He's not dead yet, but sounds like it. We had to take him off at half-time with some muscular issues. Another hamstring! Here we go. Could be another hamstring. Arsenal entered the contest without Saka, Sterling, while Kai Havertz misses out through illness. Martin Odegaard also wasn't deemed fully. Did they drink too much on New Year's or what? Havertz cannot play 2 days in a row. 2 games in a row in 4 days. So was he drunk? Odegaard as well. Did he drink and eat too much on New Year that he cannot play? Because in the game again, he also was shit in that game on the January 1st. So go figure. So Vanieri is gone. Vanieri is out. He's out. He's out. He's out. He is bloody out. Wait, let's do it this way. Maybe there will be something like that. Maybe we can look at these things. It's always Arsenal, always getting trolled. Exactly, that's the thing. Even Forest. Dude, Red Star Belgrade has Champions League. PSV has Champions League. Bucharesti Steaua from Romania has Champions League. And seems like Blackburn has one, no? Or just Premier League I'm thinking about. I might be tripping here. Ajax has. Seems like that. I think Benfica has. Porto. Arsenal, no. Everyone is just shit, yeah. Rowan even top 400 of all time. Wenger won trophies at least when he didn't even in the league. He freaking won something. That's the thing. Wenger still won something despite everything. Even in his twilight 5 years of his life. I'm very sorry, that sounded bad. Of his career at Arsenal, he still won. 2 teenagers carry the team. This Arsenal's heritage. Exactly. That's Arsenal's heritage. Teenagers carrying the team. Cesc, Wilshere, Nasri, Saka. Now Vanieri is injured because of that. It's actually kind of wild. One wine. Here we go. Arsenal have now dropped points in 9 of their opening 20 Premier League games this season. Last year, to make this into perspective, we dropped points in 10 games throughout the whole season. 38 games played, 10 games we dropped points. We have already dropped points in 9 games. Already. Next 6 fixtures for Arsenal. Newcastle home. Oh, bloody hell, that's gonna be fun in 3 days. United at home, we'll see. Spurs at home. Villa at home. Dinamo Zagreb at home and Wolves away. Oh, God, I don't even want to watch that. So, well, Arteta says it wasn't a penalty. Some say it was a penalty. So go figure, go think about this. Who knows at the end of the day. Bad performance, Big Up Pepper in the chat, is an understatement to say the least. And this is the worst thing. If, as a child, this is the worst thing when your parent says this to you. I'm not angry that you broke the ways. I'm just disappointed in you. Because you know better. That's the biggest issue. And that's the worst thing, this sentence specifically, is what you as a parent can say to your child, or you can be told as a child by your parent. In my opinion, that's one of the worst things you can be told. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. Because that means you really have screwed it up. Genuinely really have screwed it up. Because it's angry, that's one thing, but if you're disappointed, that's a whole different level. Yeah, he cannot even in the EFL Cup. Let's see what he does on Monday against... on Tuesday against Newcastle. That will be fun. That's the thing. Arsenal are lucky, in a way, that Spurs and United are doing this bad at the moment. Because if they were actually United was actually United as they are, and Spurs actually were, well, Spurs just better because Spurs aren't actually not that bad. They've been shit, but they're not that bad, let's be real. All the focus of most of Arsenal fans actually would be on Arsenal. And then it would be a completely different story. Yes, he is injured. I was looking at this right now. And here it is. Ethan Nwaneri is injured. Mikel Arteta has confirmed it. And it looks like it's a muscular injury. And Arteta was forced to take him off at halftime. Which already means we are screwed. We are screwed. And once again, we are fucking screwed. Let's just put it as it is. No sugarcoating it. It's been yeah. That's the thing. Chelsea, for 1.5 season or something, 1.5 seasons, they were a laughingstock. Also, the Clown Lake came in and said they spent billions, signed the players and everything. And at the moment, it looks like a stroke of genius, arguably, in a way. Because they needed a quick fix. They did it. It looks like the team, if they have the proper manager and they grow properly, right? They will achieve something. Cups, league, who knows? But if they are in the first season with a championship manager in Maresca from Leicester already up there, to some extent they're fighting for top 6, which many, I think I didn't even expect. I don't remember, did I put them top 6 or I put them 8th or 9th, wherever I put them in the predictions, I don't remember anymore. Gonna look at this in a bit later. But yeah, if they are up there already, it means that only with time they will get better. Because this summer window was the window where Arsenal had a chance to pull away from the competition, close the gap to City, maybe overtake them. They decided to sit on their asses, do nothing, and now every other team has caught up with us. In terms of Liverpool, Chelsea, and look, Nottingham Forest are up there. Whether they're going to be there or not at the end of the season is a whole different story. But currently, it's looking pretty bleak. I'm not going to lie. Kid is probably tired from carrying the team so much. Dude, he's 17, he already is carrying the team. Whenever he plays better than most of the players in the team. That is the worst part. Whether it's a substitution for 15 minutes, whether it's a full game. Well, he hasn't played a full game, besides the cup. But overall, when he plays a substitution minutes or he starts and gets subbed off, most of the time, he plays better than the most of the squad. how the hell Forest get better than us on, and even Spurs better than us right now, even Everton, even Man City. When it's wild. It's genuinely wild to think about this. And the worst part is, think about this now. Edu signed for Nottingham Forest, right? He's overseeing CEO, overseeing Olympiacos, Nottingham Forest, another team. I don't remember which was the third team, and maybe also Vasco da Gama if Marianakis decides to buy them, right? And next summer actually will show what is what, in a way. Whether it was Edu, whether it was Mikel Arteta, who basically is responsible for all these signings we have gotten over the years. Because with Mikel Arteta's power, like in Naruto and everything, the power is growing, and Dragon Ball, what Dragon Ball, I'm not Naruto, Dragon Ball is growing and everything, he's charging up and everything, we're getting 15 mil a year, having hand in every cookie jar at Arsenal. It will be interesting to see what's going to happen with sporting director that we sign for summer. It will be very interesting to compare how Arsenal look with the new sporting director and who we sign, plus how Nottingham Forest look, and even Olympiacos to some extent, let's be real, under Edu as their CEO. It will be very interesting to see, to compare, because that will tell whether it was Edu or it was Mikel Arteta. Yeah, that's the thing. We have spent 800 million, nearly. As we talked about this about 2 months, 3 months ago, about half of it has been wasted, more or less, right? And the players we still rely on are the players we have in the club or have come through our academy. At the end of the day, Martinelli, Saka, Wanyeri, Skelly, Saliba was here, Gabriel was signed the first season, and players like that, Partey, or second season. We are relying on the players they were here or just got signed as Arteta came in at the end of the day. That's how wild it is. We haven't signed actually proper players to elevate the team onto some certain level. I don't blame players of any of their left this club. This club always. That's the thing. You cannot actually put it on the players. It's on Mikel Arteta. Because I strongly believe if Arteta actually had a brain cell, he actually could talk things out. For example, with Guendouzi, having Guendouzi in this team as a left eight would have been quite fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, I still believe so. Having Nicolas Pepe, giving him the freedom as a backup for Bukayo Saka, for example, also would be quite fantastic because I strongly believe there's a very good player in Pepe. I've seen it. He plays for Villarreal. He has very big freedom there. He actually does some great things still there. There are players we have let go. I still believe that Arteta, if he managed them properly and wasn't as arrogant and actually gave them proper chance and players actually believed and wanted to play for him, because I strongly believe that there are quite a few players even in this Arsenal team who don't want to play under Mikel Arteta anymore or are starting to have these thoughts. But if they could do it, they actually would be quite fantastic for Arsenal at the moment. I'm not gonna lie. So it is what it is, I guess, at the end of the day. We'll have to wait and see. It's only a speculation, but it is what it is. But at the end of the day, Arsenal 1-1 against Brighton. Arteta has to go. It's time to go, let's be real. No pun intended. Big up Claude, rest in peace. But it's time to go. It's time to end this. It's time to finish this. It's time to start a new chapter and everything. I can tell you, when Arsenal bought some damn proper players, if you look at big signing, you never ever see Arsenal manager won't even try to learn something for 5 years. Do you know how much? Dude, it's wild. It's wild. It's actually insane. It's actually insane how we waste money on players, managers to some extent, and it's all going down the Swanee slowly. Arteta just never quite makes it count. He is that guy who's gonna be always a runner-up, no matter the way you look at it. Let's be real. It looks that way, at least. He was runner-up when we had to finish in Champions League 4 years ago. No, 3 years ago. No, technically 4 already, but yeah. When he finished 5th, he was a runner-up 2 years ago. Last year, he has been runner-up in cups, always coming up short. Looks that way. Even other fans are questioning him after being... Exactly, that is the biggest tell. Because everyone, even the rival fans were saying, You know, I hate you. I don't like Arsenal. We are rivals, but I must say Arteta is doing a pretty damn good job. He has done it here to some extent, right? Because they don't care about the ins and outs as Arsenal. They just look from the outside and say they call it as they see it, right? We know the insides and outs more, a bit more, right? But even recently, I've seen it on X, I've seen it on streams, I see it everywhere. Even those fans, rival fans who are bigging up Arsenal, bigging up Arteta, even them are calling Arteta to be sacked if Arsenal want to win the league in the nearest few years. Because this window for winning the league is hella small. Hella small. And we have wasted already 2 years. And this is the third one. We might not get a fourth or fifth year anymore. We will again drop down into top 4 race. And we will have to wait again a decade, almost, to get into to get in a title race. And I'm not down for that anymore. Exactly. Dude, it's ironic that you said a 15-year-old since he gets 15 million a year. Just saying. But anyways, guys, I think on that note, I'm gonna end it here. Arsenal 1, Brighton 1, shambolic performance, pathetic result. Arteta has to go, not good enough players. I think that venting really was necessary for me. I really wish that I really wish that it wouldn't have to happen this early this year. But it has happened. Players always injured, no one ever seen. Exactly. And that's the biggest thing. I never wished it would happen this early, but it's already January 4th and I'm already venting about Arsenal, as wild as it sounds. But yeah, for today, that will be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, for your comments, for chilling. Big up everyone, Pepper, Marlon, BX, Aunt CB, Nathan, and many more who were talking in the chat, who are leaving comments after the stream and everything. You've been freaking fantastic. Take care, stay safe. Try keep your mind off Arsenal tomorrow. Watch some football, maybe something good will happen. But for today, I am out. Of course, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and see you all tomorrow.